So I've been on a Star Trek upscaling adventure for Star Trek Voyager and Deep Space Nine, and Topaz was kind enough to give beta testers 1,000 credits when they began their cloud rendering service, and I didn't use all of them during that testing, so I thought I would, with the advent of Starlight, use some of those credits to test out a portion of the first episode of Deep Space Nine, which is a pretty tough episode overall to upscale, but especially the beginning because it's full of a lot of camera shake and action and that sort of thing. So this is really a kind of a stress test for Starlight. But I marked a couple places that I thought were interesting to show. The first layer is the original DVD rip that I made. The second layer is my upscaled version. I use a 100% NIX denoise and then a RIA upscale to 1440 by 1080. And then the Starlight version on top of that so we can see through. So first, I thought this is interesting. The opening text here in the original, when I upscaled with traditional methods, looks pretty good. All very legible. Just kind of sharpens it up. There's some ghosting still left over, but all in all, it's pretty good. Starlight chose a different font, or I'm not sure how it did that, but it's very interesting. It got rid of it was a cyan tint to the words before, and it thinned them out quite a bit and kind of lost some of the definition here. So we're at Wolf 3S9 now instead of 359, but I thought that was interesting. Then I thought we would look at Picard here as Locutus. Traditional, cleans it up pretty nice, sharpens it up, brings it into focus, and then Starlight gives him a smile and really sort of makes some stuff up, relights his face a bit. Interesting stuff. Then I thought a close-up of a character would be nice. Here's Cisco close-up. Traditionally brings it into focus. The shallow depth of field is retained really nicely and brings the front of his face into focus a bit. And then Starlight kind of really goes ham. It's over sharpened a bit, I think. All of the examples that I've seen have been quite a bit over sharpened for my taste, but also creates a lot of new texture that wasn't there, gives him some really sharp white underliner there. And I'm not sure about that. Kind of gives him a whole new face. And then I thought this was interesting. When the phaser here starts to disintegrate the ship, you can see clean edges of where it starts to disintegrate in the original and in the traditional upscale. You can really see that sort of disintegration of the ship. But Starlight really just sandblasts that all the way. It's kind of just disintegrates or disappears and then reappears, and then I'm not sure about that. That one was not great. This is interesting. From the original to the upscale is not a dramatic shift, but brings it into focus. And then this is quite dramatic. Especially this sort of tube here. It's all very AI generated looking, in my opinion, but it is sharp. It adds a little highlights to this, like there's glass in there, which is interesting because in the original there's no highlight on any of the frames, so it really is imagining some things. And then we have some traditional or some usual AI stuff going on. This is as the scene goes on, the shake gets quite a bit stronger, and traditionally cleans it up pretty nicely, and then we get some really crazy looking face stuff going on in this latter section, especially for Cisco when there's a lot of things happening in front of him. So he's behind this fallen girder, and as he's moving, there's a lot of camera shake. His hand moves in front of his face. He's being dragged away by the lieutenant there. The traditional upscaling method does a pretty good job. He still looks like himself. Motion blur is all preserved. He looks pretty good. Then Starlight, get ready for it. He was a changeling all along. This is quite the hallucination Starlight's having here. Yeah, not ideal. So that's that. There's quite a bit of that sort of like artifacting happening when things get moving around too quickly. It's very, can't quite figure out what's going on, and so just kind of puts up a bunch of gibberish. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. Yep, it's got some work to do, but an interesting start. There we are.